True Crimers, Partners in Crime. This is week 5, episode 5, part 3. So I hope you're joining me, and I need to give my disclaimer again. This is for entertainment purposes only. This is my thoughts, my views, my opinions for entertainment purposes only. These are not facts. Form your own opinions. And so let's get into it. So we left part 2. We're talking about the Sebastian Rogers case. And this week, Clutch Them Pearls released a phone call between CP and KP and Heather Cohen, which is, or was, Seth Rogers' old PI. This is a very old phone call. I don't know what prompted it. And I don't know if it's been released before, but I had never heard it. So it started off, Heather Cohen is trying to get information, about the day before, just more details. And it appears that maybe they're doing the call, and this is just my thoughts. They're trying to see what she knows. Maybe just, I don't know. That's just my thoughts. Now, when they first start talking, they're talking about early in the day, that morning. We find out that they were at BJ's before 12. I always thought for some reason it was later in the day, but it was definitely before 12. I think they were even home before 12. We found out that at the bowling alley, the reason they didn't bowl is because the wait was too long because there was bowling tournaments going on. And so there was just more details. None of those, I think, really matter. But when she's answering, Chris, CP is actually answering. He wasn't there, but he seems to do the majority of the talking and answering the majority of the questions. And, in the beginning of the day, they're all just happy to give the answers. But as the day progressed into night and the closer you get to the disappearance, you can see the shift. You can see the shift in them, and they're, especially CP. He's very much more angry, very much more defensive. And the answers get much more vague. For example, he was asked about between what time did Sebastian take the trash out till bed? And that question, he said, 3 hours. It just did not want to give that answer. And then they were also asked about, as far as the phone call went, the 3-hour phone call, was it a FaceTime? Was it on the phone? And doesn't matter. Didn't want to answer. It doesn't matter. And he came across very angry. So vague. That it doesn't want to give a time at all. It's just between 9 and 12. And he's very, arrogant, and he just has this air about him. He's unhappy, he's miserable, he's angry, and he's defensive. And he doesn't want to give, details at all. So that was really interesting. I had not heard that call before, and I liked getting some more facts. But, it was interesting. Also, I think they were asked about the trash, from what point did they get home, how much time went by before he took the trash out, and I don't think they wanted to answer that either. So I think, and there was one part that even KP and CP had a little bicker thing going on. It was just interesting, and I highly encourage you to listen to it if you haven't heard it. There was that call too. We found out this week that CP wrote KP and Seth Rogers' parenting plan. It was brought up because CP was, sending out a message to Seth Rogers that he's not allowed to talk bad about the other parent still. Now, generally that means with parenting plans that you can't talk about the other parent in front of the child. That's typically what's written in there. But my bigger question is, why is CP writing their parenting plan? He seemed to have way more control in that dynamic than he should have, in my opinion. He took the phone away when the parents didn't agree from Sebastian. He's writing their parenting plan. Very, very interesting. It says a lot about the control, the need for control. Oh, and another thing that came up a lot this week was good old CP's whole thing about he can't answer a question because Ellie has told him not to. He has said that since the start of this case. He said it on Nancy Grace at every interview. He always says, Ellie doesn't want me answering those questions. Well, that was debunked. That was debunked. Ellie said in an email that they can't tell anyone what to say and what not to say. They absolutely can't. And one of the questions, he says that's coming directly from Ellie. Come on. And what I got confused about in this call is, yes, it's Seth's PI. But at the end of the day, they're investigating to try to find Sebastian. These are all the parents of Sebastian. Whether they're not getting along with the other parent or not, this PI's job is to find Sebastian. So you would think that everyone would be so grateful for the help that this person is giving. And that's what confuses me about any kind of help, from the billboards to the PIs or whatever. Whoever's, or searchers, people searching or reporting on Sebastian's disappearance, any of that is helpful to finding Sebastian. So to be annoyed by it, angered by it, literally makes no sense to me. Why isn't just everyone coming together to find Sebastian? Or as a parent, being grateful that somebody's taking their time to aid in the effort of finding Sebastian. So, and that just leads me into the whole, they're just so quick to say, no, that's not him. Like when that boy there was a tip that Sebastian could be in North Carolina. Nope, that's not him. Nope, that couldn't be him. No. How do you know? Nobody knows. So how are you so quick to know? How are you so quick to know that that wasn't him, or whatever other tip, that's not those aren't his glasses? Like, how do you know? If you don't know what happened, how do you know? Wouldn't the proper response be like curious and hopeful? I don't know. Unless you know something. Huh. And just like lastly, this whole thing just seems to be one big script. Just like the Summer Walls case, the script, the planting flowers, candy by grandma, it's the same thing with this. And also, I have a whole video on the similarities. But yeah, so those are just my thoughts on this week. Wow. There was a lot. There was a lot. I'm sure there's even more I could talk about, but I'm sure like part 4 might be pushing it. So unless there's like a bonus episode, this was week 5 of True Crime Friday, and I cannot wait till next week. And thank you so much for watching, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care. I also need to add, if you have any information on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, please call 1-800-TBI-FINDS. Thanks again. Have a good night.